Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the daily readings of Srila Prabhupada's books. Here on this fine Mahadwadasi, which is the day we fast for Ekadashi here in the UK, Yogini Ekadashi, chanted our 64 rounds and very happy, and worked on our RRP panel work. And now we're ready to continue on with the goal of life, which is to hear and chant the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His eternal associates in the most sweet version, the Caitanya-caritämrta. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke a very poetic glorification of the Caitanya-caritämrta. After he ended a lecture in Munjer, there was an earth tremor, and it caused a mild flooding in the adjacent Ganga, and then very soon it receded. And after that, Saraswati Thakur said, in due course, Mahapralaya, devastating floods, will inundate the entire universe. If you attempt to survive by swimming in that deluge, then do not neglect to hold the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Caitanya-caritämrta. Or, if you cannot hold all three, then release Bhagavad Gita. If necessary, you may also relinquish Srimad Bhagavatam, but under no circumstances release your hold on Sri Caitanya-caritämrta. For if this one book remains, then the flood can do no actual harm, because after it is subsided, the message of Shastra can be revived from Sri Caitanya-caritämrta alone, it being the essence of all Shastra. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Okay, we've reached the 107th verse of the 7th chapter of Ädi-lilä. Lord Chaitanya is speaking to the Mayavadi sannyasis of all people in Varanasi or Benares. What actual Vedanta Sutra, or the Vedanta, what is the meaning of the Vedanta Sutra? So Lord Chaitanya is speaking. Text 107. The material defects of mistakes, illusions, cheating, and sensory inefficiency do not exist in the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. A mistake is the acceptance of an object to be different from what it is, or the acceptance of false knowledge. For example, we may see a rope in the dark and think it to be a serpent, or one may see a glittering oyster shell and think it to be gold. These are mistakes. Similarly, an illusion is a misunderstanding that arises from inattention while hearing, and cheating is the transmission of such defective knowledge to others. Materialistic scientists and philosophers generally use such words as maybe and perhaps because they do not have actual knowledge of complete facts. Therefore, their instructing others is an example of cheating. The final defect of the materialistic person is his inefficient senses. Although our eyes, for example, have the power to see, they cannot see that which is situated at a distance, nor can they see the eyelid, which is the object nearest to the eye. To our untrained eyes, the sun appears to be just like a plate, and to the eyes of one who is suffering from jaundice, everything appears to be yellow. Therefore, we cannot rely on the knowledge acquired through such imperfect eyes. The ears are equally imperfect. We cannot hear a sound vibrated a long distance away unless we put a telephone to our ear. Similarly, if we analyze all our senses in this way, we will find them to be all to be imperfect. Therefore, it is useless to acquire knowledge through the senses. The Vedic process is to hear from authority. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, the Lord says, Evang parampara praptam imam rajashayo vidu. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. We have to hear not from a telephone, but from an authorized person, for it is he who has real knowledge. Text 108. The absolute truth is described in the Upanishads and Brahma Sutra, but one must understand the verses as they are. That is the supreme glory in understanding. Purport. It has become fashionable since the time of Shankaracharya to explain everything regarding the Shastras in an indirect way. Scholars take pride in explaining everything in their own way, and they declare that one can understand the Vedic scriptures in any way he likes. This any way you like method is foolishness, and it has created havoc in the Vedic culture. One cannot accept scientific knowledge in his own whimsical way. In the science of mathematics, for example, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and one cannot make it equal 3 or 5. Yet although it is not possible to alter real knowledge, people have taken to the fashion of understanding Vedic knowledge in any way they like. It is for this reason that we have presented Bhagavad Gita as it is. We do not create meanings by concoction. Sometimes commentators say that the word Kurukshetra in the first verse of the Bhagavad Gita refers to one's body. But we do not accept this. We understand that Kurukshetra is a place that still exists, and according to the Vedic version, it is a Dharmakshetra, or a place of pilgrimage. People still go there to perform Vedic sacrifices. Foolish commentators, however, say that Kurukshetra means the body, and that Panchapandava refers to the 5 senses. In this way they distort the meaning, and people are misled. Here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms that all Vedic literatures, including the Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, and others, whether Shruti, Smriti, or Nyaya, must be understood according to their original statements. To describe the direct meaning of the Vedic literatures is glorious, but to describe them in one's own way, using imperfect senses and imperfect knowledge, is a disastrous blunder. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fully deprecated the attempt to describe the Vedas in this way. Regarding the Upanishads, the following 11 Upanishads are considered to be the topmost: Isha, Kena, Kata, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taittiriya, Aitareya, Chandogya, Brihat Aranyaka, and Shvetashvatara. However, in the Mukti-upanishad, in the Muktikopanishad, verses 30 through 39, there is a description of 108 Upanishads. Here we go. Ready? They are as follows. 1. Ishopanishad. 2. Kenopanishad. 3. Katopanishad. 4. Prashnopanishad. 5. Mundakopanishad. 6. Mandukyopanishad. 7. Taittiriya Upanishad. 8. Aitareyopanishad. 9. Chandogyopanishad. 10. Brihad Aranyakopanishad. 11. Brahmopanishad. 10. Kaivalyopanishad. 13. Jabalopanishad. 14. Shvetashvetaropanishad. 15. Hansopanishad. 16. Arunyopanishad. 17. Garbopanishad. 18. Narayana Upanishad. 19. Arunyeyopanishad. 17. Garbopanishad. 18. Narayanopanishad. 19. Paramahansopanishad. 20. Amrita Bindupanishad. 21. Amrita Nadopanishad. 22. Shiropanishad. 23. Atharva Shikopanishad. 24. Maitrayanyopanishad. 25. Kaushitakupanishad. 26. Brihad Jalavupanishad. 27. Nishinga Tapiniyopanishad. 28. Kalagni Rudropanishad. 29. Maitreyopanishad. 30. Subalopanishad. 31. Churikopanishad. 32. Mantrikopanishad. 33. Saropanishad. 34. Niralombopanishad. 35. Shuka Rasoyopanishad. 36. Vajra Suchikopanishad. 37. Tejo Bindupanishad. 38. Nado Bindupanishad. 39. Dhyana Bindupanishad. 40. Brahma Vidyopanishad. 41. Yoga Tattvopanishad. 42. Atma Bodhopanishad. 43. Narada Parivrajakapanishad. 44. Trishikyupanishad. 45. Sitopanishad. 46. Yoga Chudamanyupanishad. 47. Nirvanupanishad. 48. Mandala Brahmopanishad. 49. Dakshina Murtyupanishad. 50. Sharobopanishad. 51. Skandopanishad. 52. Mahan Narayanopanishad. 53. Advaya Tarakopanishad. 54. Rama Rahasyopanishad. 55. Rama Tapanyupanishad. 56. Vasudevopanishad. 57. Mudgalopanishad. 58. Shandilyopanishad. 59. Paingalopanishad. 60. Bhikshupanishad. 61. Mahad Upanishad. 62. Sharikopanishad. 63. Yoga Shikopanishad. 64. Turiyati-Upanishad. Turiyati-Upanishad. 65. Sannyasopanishad. 66. Paramahansa Parivrajakapanishad. 77. Malikopanishad. 68. Avyaktopanishad. 69. Ekaksharopanishad. 70. Purnopanishad. 71. Suryopanishad. 72. Akshupanishad. 73. Adyatmopanishad. 74. Kundikopanishad. 75. Savitrupanishad. 76. Atmopanishad. 77. Pashopatopanishad. 78. Brahmopanishad. 79. Avadhuto Panishad. 80. Tripurata Panishad. Again, tongue twister. 80. Tripurata Panishad. 81. Devyupanishad. 82. Tripuropanishad. 83. Kata Rudropanishad. 84. Bhavanopanishad. 85. Hridayopanishad. 86. Yoga Kundalinupanishad. 87. Brahmopanishad. 88. Rudrakshopanishad. 89. Ganopanishad. 90. Darshanopanishad. 91. Saropanishad. 92. Maha Vakyopanishad. 93. Pancha Brahmopanishad. 94. Pranagni Hotropanishad. 95. Gopala Tapyanopanishad. 96. Krishnopanishad. 97. Yajnavalkyopanishad. 98. Varahopanishad. 99. Shatyayanyupanishad. 100. Hayagrivopanishad. 101. Dattatreyopanishad. 102. Garudopanishad. 103. Kalyupanishad. 104. Jabalyupanishad. 105. Saubhagyopanishad. 106. Saraswati Rahasyopanishad. 107. Bhavrichyopanishad. And 108. Muktikopanishad. Thus there are 108 generally accepted Upanishads, of which 11 are the most important, as previously stated. And I don't think any of you would mind if I took a break, little 1 minute break after that. Okay. 109. Sripad Shankaracharya has described all the Vedic literatures in terms of indirect meanings. One who hears such explanations is ruined. 110. Shankaracharya is not at fault, for it is under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he has covered the real purport of the Vedas. Purport. The Vedic literature is to be considered a source of real knowledge, but if one does not take it as it is, one will be misled. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is an important Vedic literature that has been taught for many years, but because it was commented upon by unscrupulous rascals, people derived no benefit from it, and no one came to the conclusion of Krishna consciousness. Since the purport of the Bhagavad Gita is now being presented as it is, however, within 4 or 5 short years, thousands of people all over the world have become Krishna conscious. That is the difference between direct and indirect explanations of the Vedic literature. Therefore, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mukhya vritti sai artha parama mahatva. To teach the Vedic literature according to its direct meaning, without false commentary, is glorious. Unfortunately, Sri Shankaracharya, by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, compromised between atheism and theism in order to cheat the atheists and bring them to theism. And to do so, he gave up the direct method of Vedic knowledge and tried to present a meaning which is indirect. It is with this purpose that he wrote his Shariraka Bhashya commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. One should not, therefore, attribute very much importance to the Shariraka Bhasha. In order to understand Vedanta philosophy, one must study Srimad Bhagavatam, which begins with the words Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadyasya Yaton Bayad Itaratash Charteshu Abhigya Swarat. I offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, who is the supreme, all-pervading personality of Godhead. I meditate upon Him, the transcendent reality, who is the primeval cause of all causes, from whom all manifested universes arise, in whom they dwell, and by whom they are destroyed. I meditate upon that eternally effulgent Lord, who is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and yet is fully independent. Bhagavatam 1.1.1. Srimad Bhagavatam is the real commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Unfortunately, if one is attracted to Sri Shankaracharya's commentary, Shariraka Bhasha, his spiritual life is doomed. One may argue that since Shankaracharya is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, how is it that he cheated people in this way? The answer is that he did so on the order of his master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana, Uttarakanda, in the words of Lord Shiva himself, Mayavadam asach chastram prachchanam baudam uchyate Mayaiva kalpitam devi kalau brahmana rupina brahmanas chapadang rupam nirgunam bhakshate maya sarva swam jagato vyasya mohanartam kalau yuge vidante tu mahashastre mayavadam avaidikam mayaiva bhakshate devi jagatan nashikaranat. The Mayavad philosophy, Lord Shiva informed his wife Parvati, is impious, asach chastra. It is covered Buddhism. My dear Parvati, in Kali Yuga, I assume the form of a Brahmana and teach this imagined Mayavad philosophy. In order to cheat the atheists, I describe the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be without form and without qualities. Similarly, in explaining Vedanta, I describe the same Mayavad philosophy in order to mislead the entire population toward atheism by denying the personal form of the Lord. Earlier in the Padma Purana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead told Lord Shiva, Dvaparada yuge bhutva kalaya manushadishu swagamai kalpitais tvam swagamai kalpitais tvam chad chajanam mad vimukhan kuru. In Kali Yuga, mislead the people in general by propounding imaginary meanings for the Vedas to bewilder them. These are the descriptions of the Puranas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Mukhya-vritti, the direct meaning, is Abhidha-vritti, or the meaning that one can understand immediately from the statements of dictionaries, whereas Guna-vritti, the indirect meaning, is a meaning that one imagines without consulting the dictionary. For example, one politician has said that Kurukshetra refers to the body, but in the dictionary there is no such definition. Therefore, the imaginary meaning is Guna-vritti, whereas the direct meaning found in the dictionary is Mukhya-vritti or Abhidha-vritti. This is the distinction between the two. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that one understand the Vedic literature in terms of Abhidha-vritti, and the Guna-vritti he rejects. Sometimes, however, as a matter of necessity, the Vedic literature is described in terms of the Lakshana Vritti or Gauna Vritti, but one should not accept such explanations as permanent truths. The purpose of the discussions in the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra is to philosophically establish the personal feature of the Absolute Truth. The impersonalists, however, in order to establish their philosophy, accept these discussions in terms of Lakshana Vritti, or indirect meanings. Thus, instead of being Tattvavad, or in search of the Absolute Truth, they become Mayavad, or illusioned by the material energy. When Sri Vishnu Swami, one of the 4 acharyas in the Vaishnava cult, presented his thesis on the subject matter of Shuddhadvaitavad, immediately the Mayavadis took advantage of this philosophy and tried to establish their Advaitavad, or Kevaladvaitavad, to defeat this Kevaladvaitavad. I'll read that again. When Sri Vishnu Swami, one of the 4 acharyas of the Vaishnava cult, presented his thesis on the subject matter of Shuddhadvaitavad, immediately the Mayavadis took advantage of this philosophy and tried to establish their Advaitavad, or Kevaladvaitavad. To defeat this Kevaladvaitavad, Sri Ramanujacharya presented his philosophy as Vishishtadvaitavad, and Sri Madhvacharya presented his philosophy of Tattvavad, both of which are stumbling blocks to the Mayavadis because they defeat their philosophy in scrupulous detail. Students of Vedic philosophy know very well how strongly Sri Ramanujacharya's Vishishtadvaitavad and Sri Madhvacharya's Tattvavad contest the impersonal Mayavad philosophy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the direct meaning of the Vedanta philosophy and thus defeated the Mayavad philosophy immediately. He opined in this connection that anyone who follows the principles of Shariraka Bhasha is doomed. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana, where Lord Shiva tells Parvati, Shrinu Devi Pravakshami Tamasani Yatakramam Yesham Shravanamatrena Patityam Jnaninam Api Apartang Shrutivakyanam Darshayal Lokagaritam Karma Swarupyata Jatvam Atracha Pratipadyate Sarva Karma Paribhrangshan Naishkarmyam Tatra Chochate Paratma Jivayor Aikyam Mayatra Pratipadyate. My dear wife, hear my explanations of how I have spread ignorance through Mayavad philosophy. Simply by hearing it, even an advanced scholar will fall down. In this philosophy, which is certainly very inauspicious for people in general, I have misrepresented the real meaning of the Vedas and recommended that one give up all activities in order to achieve freedom from karma. In this Mayavad philosophy, I have described the Jivatma and Paramatma to be one and the same. How the Mayavad philosophy was condemned by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers is described in Sri Caitanya-caritämrta, Ädi-lilä, 2nd chapter, verses 94 through 99, where Sarup Damodar Goswami says that anyone who is eager to understand the Mayavad philosophy must be considered insane. This especially applies to a Vaishnava who reads the Shariraka Bhasha and considers himself to be one with God. The Mayavadi philosophers have presented their arguments in such attractive, flowery language that hearing Mayavad philosophy may sometimes change the mind of even a Mahabhagavata, or a very advanced devotee. An actual Vaishnava cannot tolerate any philosophy that claims God and the living being to be one and the same. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Conclusive, clear, direct refutation of Maya. Text 111. According to direct understanding, the Absolute Truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has all spiritual opulences. No one can be equal to or greater than Him. Purport. This statement by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-11. Badanti tat tat vavidas tatvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. The absolute truth is ultimately understood as Bhagavan, partially understood as Paramatma, and vaguely understood as the impersonal Brahman. Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is opulent in all excellence. No one can be equal to or greater than Him. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7:7, where the Lord says, Mattak Maratanam Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. There are many other verses which prove that the absolute truth, in the ultimate sense, is understood to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Text 112. Everything about the Supreme Personality of Godhead is spiritual, including His body, opulence, and paraphernalia. Mayavad philosophy, however, covering His spiritual opulence, advocates the theory of impersonalism. Purport. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has a spiritual body which is full of knowledge, eternity, and bliss. In this material world, everyone's body is just the opposite, temporary, full of ignorance, and full of misery. Therefore, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sometimes described as Nirakara, this is to indicate that He does not have a material body like us. Mayavadi philosophers do not know how it is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is formless. The Supreme Lord does not have a form like ours, but has a spiritual form. Not knowing this, Mayavadi philosophers simply advocate the one-sided view that the Supreme Godhead, or Brahman, is formless, Nirakara. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur offers many quotes from the Vedic literature. If one accepts the real or direct meaning of these Vedic statements, one can understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has a spiritual body, Satchidananda Vigraha. In the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad 5.1.1, it is said, Purnam adak purnam idam purnat purnam udachyate. This indicates that the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is spiritual, for even though He expands in many ways, He remains the same. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, the Lord says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate. I am the origin of all. Everything emanates from me. Mayavadi philosophers materialistically think that if the Supreme Truth expands Himself in everything, he must lose his original form. They think that thus they think that there cannot be any form other than the expansive, gigantic form of the Lord. But the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad confirms, Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Although he expands in many ways, he keeps his original personality. His original spiritual body remains as it is. Similarly, elsewhere it is stated, Vichitra Shakti Purushak Purana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original person, Purusha, has multifarious energies. And the Shvetashvatara Upanishad declares, Sa vrikshakala kritibik paronyo yasmat prapancha paribartate yam dharmavaham papunudam bagesham. He is the origin. He is the origin. He is the origin of material creation, and it is due to him only that everything changes. He is the protector of religion and annihilator of all sinful activities. He is the master of all opulences. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.6. Bidaham etam purusham mahantam adityavarnam tamasak padastat. Now I understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be the greatest of the great. He is effulgent like the sun and is beyond this material world. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.8. Patim patinam padamam padastad. He is the master of all masters, the superior of all superiors. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.7. Mahan Prabhur Vai Purusha. He is the Supreme Master and Supreme Person. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.12. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. We can understand his opulences in different ways. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.8. Similarly, in the Rig Veda, it is stated, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashanti Surayaha. Vishnu is the Supreme, and those who are actually learned think only of his lotus feet. In the Prashna Upanishad 6.3, it is said, Saiksham Chakre. He glanced over the material creation. In the Aitareya Upanishad 1 and 2, it is said, Saikshata. He glanced over the material creation. And Saima Lokan Astrijata. He created this entire material world. Thus, many verses can be quoted from the Upanishads and Vedas which proves that the Supreme Godhead is not impersonal. In the Katha Upanishad 2.13, it is also said, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vedadati Kaman. He is the Supreme, eternally conscious person who maintains all other living entities. From all these Vedic references, one can understand that the Absolute Truth is a person, and that no one can be equal or excel him. That no one can equal or excel him. Although there are many foolish Mayavadi philosophers who think that they are even greater than Krishna, Krishna is asamordva. No one is equal to or above him. As stated in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.19, Apani Pado Javano Grahita. This verse describes the Absolute Truth as having no legs or hands. Although this is an impersonal description, it does not mean that the Absolute Personality of Godhead has no form. He has a spiritual form that is distinct from the forms of matter. In this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clarifies this distinction. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So this is a good place to stop. We're on text 113. Okay, we're hearing a lot of dense philosophy. Hopefully somebody's hearing something and getting something. Srila Prabhupada's purports are quite simple, but they're also very profound. And he can say the most complex philosophical statements in very simple English. It's very, very mystical and wonderful. Anybody have anything to say out there in Cyberland?
There's an appreciation from Radha Madana Mohan.
Hare Krishna Radha Madana Mohan.
Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj. Always blessed to hear your lovingly reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Jai.
Well, thank you. I feel encouraged. I'm trying my best because I like these books too much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The philosophers have all gone into the barn. What about Abaya? He's over there, rubbing his chin and looking at the text.
Something from Nandasuna.
Okay, Nandasuno. Abaya got off the hook. Nandasuna saved him.
Says, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
I appreciated the dictionary definition versus the speculated definition.
Yes.
It reminded me of that funny example of touching one's nose by just reaching up versus touching one's nose by reaching around the head.
Yes. True. Very nicely put. I mean, how can you have a conversation with someone if, you're talking about this cup and you call it a cane or you call it a book or whatever? It just won't make any sense. And that's exactly what the Mayavadis do. Make up their own definitions as they go along. But because they're very articulate and because they know a lot, they know Sanskrit, and they know how to juggle the prefixes and the suffixes. But even Shankaracharya, I don't remember the Sanskrit exactly, but there's a verse at the end of Shankaracharya's exposition in which he says all of these arguments of suffixes and prefixes, juggling grammatical grammar in Sanskrit will not get you to perfection. And then he says, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda. You have to chant, take shelter of the name of Lord Govinda. But they didn't take his advice. Because Shankaracharya was actually a Vaishnava. He was an incarnation of Shiva, best of the Vaishnavas. But he had that mission, and he fulfilled it to the T. And it's now everywhere. You talk to anyone, any philosophy, any religion, and it's all permeated with Mayavad philosophy. and all the examples and word jugglery of the impersonalists. Okay, what else?
From Rati Manjari.
Hey Rati, Haribo.
She says, Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances.
Haribo.
Tonight I had a sense of understanding how in hearing this knowledge we are really getting a spiritual education, meaning that all the important foundational teachings are present in Srila Prabhupada's books, and he is expertly delivering them to one and all. It was a little shocking to hear that even a Maha-Bhagavat devotee who hears Mayavad philosophy can fall down.
Yes. Well, you have to hear the Mayavad philosophy submissively. I mean, Lord Chaitanya sat there for 7 days and 7 nights listening to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he didn't say a word. He wasn't listening to it at all. You know, he had no taste for it at all. But he sat there and he looked like he was listening. So the devotees, they may know the philosophy in the sense that they know how to argue it and defeat it, but they never listen to it submissively. If you listen to it submissively and try to understand it, quote unquote, then you're doomed. Your spiritual life is doomed. That's why we're so careful, and why Prabhupada was so careful with us, especially when we went to India, because there's so many, elderly persons in India who know Sanskrit and know many, many verses of all these shastras, and they've been indoctrinated by the impersonal philosophy, and therefore they can just tie you in knots philosophically with all their word jugglery. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. And Srila Prabhupada is inoculating us by these purports, particularly in this chapter, and then again in his teachings to Sanatana Goswami and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and now furthermore in the Prakashananda Saraswati Thakur and his followers. What else?
And Asuna commented, he said, it's wonderful to see the simplicity of the most advanced devotees.
Yes. Simplicity doesn't mean simpleton. It means deep.
There's something more from Rati Manjari.
Mm-hmm.
She said, also I was wondering about how difficult a service Lord Shiva had to preach against the existence of the personality of Godhead, whom he loves.
Well, he loves him so much that it was a breeze. It wasn't difficult at all, because he was doing it on his order. Never touched him. It was a bigger picture. The bigger picture is that Lord Chaitanya, that Krishna wanted the Kali Yuga to advance. Because, as the material nature becomes more and more complex from the actions and reactions of all of the conditioned souls in the universes, then at the end of one of the cycles, Divya Yugas, then the only thing that they can listen to is a stick. So he organizes it in such a way as they all become so fallen, and then he comes again as Kalki and just annihilates them all, except for a few pretty pure devotees that are left. And then the atheists leave the earth alone, and then it rejuvenates itself, just like now. The materialists, the materialistic sense enjoyers and consumers, consuming all the earth's resources and literally eating the earth to death, they stopped. They were forced to go inside, and the air and the water and the vegetation and the wildlife They're all flourishing now.
Rati says, can we understand this to be a test of Lord Krishna for Lord Shiva? Or is that a speculation?
A test? No. He tested him when he came in front of him as Mohini Murti. Then he tested him. This wasn't a test. This was a mission that the Lord had for him to do. It's no test for him. It's easy for him to do. Lord Shiva he's not Jiva Tattva.
With test, I mean that the Lord asks a lot from his most confidential servants.
Yeah, he gave a mission. He gave him a mission, but yeah, that's right. He only gives those kinds of tests or missions to those he knows won't fail and will fall down. What else?
Rati says, I understand. Thank you.
Haribol, Rati. Okay, with that, we'll finish tonight's reading, and thank you very much, all of you. It's a Ekadashi, long day, and I also have something I have to do for this work for the RRP, and I have to send something off. So with that, I will thank you very much for joining us on this Holy Ekadashi day. It's actually Mahadwadashi, but it's the day that Ekadashi is followed. And we hope you all had some extra hearing and chanting today and are developing a taste for hearing and chanting about Krishna and understanding about Krishna. Shri Caitanya-caritämrta ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta-vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
From Bhakta Dog, you commented something?
Bhakta Doug?
Yes.
Well, Bhakta Doug, we will stop the time for Bhakta Doug.
He says, Hare Krishna Maharaj. This reading reminds me of a statement by Srila Prabhupada in his purport to the Ishopanishad invocation. Quote, if he, the complete whole, were formless, or if he were less than his creation in any other way, he could not be complete. Expert logic.
Yes. There's another statement that Prabhupada said that the absolute truth must contain everything within our experience and everything without our experience. Otherwise, he couldn't be complete. So just because you don't know everything about him, that doesn't mean he doesn't exist. That's it? Apparently. Okay, we'll give it another shot. Thanks, Bhakti Doug, for giving us a chance to say
something from Jai Gauranga.
Jai Gauranga, Haribo.
He says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, humble obeisances.
Jai Ho.
Miss you.
You too. Thank you. Okay, we'll try again. Maybe we get to say this a number of times in a row and get more ecstatic. Shri Caitanya-caritämrta ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta-vrinda ki jai. All glories to all the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same station. Steady like a rock. Hare Krishna.